every technology that we have, they have a basic idea, but blockchain, they don't have an idea. So before you introduce your company, I'd like you to just, there are many definitions, but the more we have, the better it is. So maybe if you can explain to our readers what is blockchain, then what is a cryptocurrency, and then maybe you can tell us about, like, many people don't even know what is a cryptocurrency exchange. So I mean, in that order, if you could tell, it would help to start the
Yeah.
conversation.
Sunil, I mean, good thing you gave an example, right? People even understand artificial intelligence.
Yeah, that's what they
Right?
they know.
I think we should thank Steven Spielberg and a lot
Yeah,
of directors, at
Marvel,
least
Marvel Cinematic Universe,
Marvel
Ultron, and
Universe,
all.
at least, thank them that, at least they made something that tough to
Right,
explain with use
right,
cases, right?
right,
Any technology we understand with the use case, not the
right,
technology. Right
right,
now, if you go and ask any person how does an IMPS work in a banking system,
right,
no one will be able to understand the technical part of it, but they know that within a matter of seconds you can transfer money,
right,
right? Same example, internet, right? If I ask someone to give a formal definition of internet, they'll be like, "What really? That's what internet is." But when I ask someone what an internet is, they would say it is a way through which I can send an email. It is a way through which I can book my Ola app. So they use cases to explain the technology. Unfortunately, for a blockchain, the thing is use cases are just emerging, right? It's such a bleeding edge technology. One by one, and use cases just coming out. Like supply chain industry is one of those industries which is actually seeing one or two use cases which is being implemented, people going live and everything. So when these use cases become more mainstream, like a personal, like anyone in the house who's going to start using it, a blockchain will be a very easy technology to understand, right? Till that time, it is going to be like a monster which is there, and slowly we're going to understand one of its cases. Right now, a blockchain, right now, why it is creating so much of talk, why all banks, one of the things what came in Gartner is by 2025, most of the banks will have blockchain enabled backends, right? So why this blockchain, right? The fact of the concept is there are a lot of concepts that have been put together to build a concept called a blockchain, right? Concepts can be something called an encryption, which has been there for ages now. Okay. Then there have been concepts of how a Merkle tree can be built, right? And how you can quickly retrieve a data. This concept has been there at least for 15, 20 years. Now, two, three concepts like this, they are put together to build something like a database which can be easily used for retrieving and auditing. Right now, for example, in a banking system, if you want to audit the whole bank, for example, you take S Bank, you want to audit S Bank completely. If all the credit and debit entries they're done perfectly, right? If there is any issue of money leaking anywhere, it will at least take them a week or a month for them to close their auditing books. On the contrary, if they had a blockchain at the bank, their whole audit will be taking a maximum of 4 to 5 minutes, right? So that is one of the use cases through which I'm trying to explain blockchain. So why it is so? Because every time in a blockchain, when a set of transactions are being built, they're built in such a way that all the previous transactions are in a way audited and built on top of it. When a new, so for example, I'm saying that now 1,000 people are sending money from A to B. Now this new set of debit and credit entries has to be posted in your database. Now, when they're posting it itself, there is a check being done and it is being posted, right? And I'm trying to remove a lot of concepts out of how blockchain is usually explained. I'm trying to talk it through the use case here, right? So one of the ways what is done is when I want to say, now Vikram received 100 rupees, but this 100 rupees is received, who did he get it from? Was the money created out of thin air? Just like that, if someone hacks the banking system and enters for Vikram have 1 lakh rupees. Can that hack happen? So to stop that hack, what you will do every time a transaction is done, you will go check the back tree. Where did this 100 rupees come from? This 100 rupees he received 50 from this guy and 50 from another guy. Where did that come? So you build a complete tree and then you post an entry every time. So what is happening here? In a way, an audit is being done every time, And the data can be, even if some 2 years down the line, if someone asks for an altered data, you can quickly pull it out and give, right? That is one part of it. The other part of it, since the whole concept of blockchain depends upon encryption, cryptography and all, it is very, very hard to hack that particular system per se, right? Now, any system can be hackable, right? Now, that is one thing we have at least learned from one of what these hackers can do. Now, the whole concept of blockchain, right? See, when you talk about blockchain, the one person who made blockchain a reality is Bitcoin. There have been a lot of concepts of how to build a system like this. No one was able to build it, right? One person in 2009, he showed the way of how a blockchain system should be built. That is Satoshi Nakamoto. The system introduced was Bitcoin. He introduced a system where the first concept he had in mind was, even if there is a hacker who's sitting inside the system, right? Like not outside the system, right? Someone who's building that whole software itself, if he puts some malicious code, can he hack the whole system? That is the problem he took in hand. The whole system that what he has built, the Bitcoin system, it works on the concept that even if there is a malicious person inside the system itself, this whole blockchain cannot be hacked, right? Now again, if we go deeper, there'll be a lot of questions that will keep coming. Now, in a use case perspective, right? Now, why should such a system be there, right? Now, for example, I take a supply chain example. That is one of the most beloved examples for a lot of people. Now, you say that you're having a coffee, I think South African coffee or a Colombian coffee, or there are location specific seeds which are very expensive, right? One of the problem what that happens is these seeds can be mixed with some counterfeits, right? They can show the port of loading as South Africa or Colombia or in Brazil or any location, and they will say that this is a Brazilian coffee. Like a lot of cheating like this happens in a supply chain. Now, to handle this, what one of the solution people have suggested is the beans that are taken, there's a digital X-ray of the bean that is done. Like a DNA, like every bean has got a digital X-ray, for example. That will be uploaded in the blockchain, right? Like a data entry, like a photo, consider a photo will be uploaded into one system. This photo cannot be deleted, cannot be removed because of the structure of the database it has been uploaded, right? Now, even when they do a lot of transporting from this port to that port, this port to that port, any point of time, you can take the bean in your hand, scan it, and check if it is somewhere similar to the gene type of a Brazilian gene type, right? Because why this is so important? This data, if you put in a normal database, any guy will remove this photo from there, put another photo there, and he will fool you easily. In this case, it can never be changed. Similar use cases can happen in a diamond. Diamond, one of the biggest problem what it is happening, people are now becoming so aware, they don't want a blood diamond. They don't want diamonds mined from certain areas of Africa. They're being very cautious. But what people do, they get diamonds from all these places, they send it to different locations, and they try to ship it back, right? Now, in the source of getting all these diamonds, they're asking for a scan of the digital scan, like however I explained now. So, like this in supply chain, what people are stating is, now in each state of the supply chain, when you start entering data into the blockchain, right, it will be not useful. Like another example is, consider a fruit delivery supply chain. From a farmer, something is being delivered to the end customer, but by the time it is reaching the end customer, the fruit is, for example, getting spoiled. Now, how do you want to get this data? If you leave it to your general supply chain guy, if you call them and ask them and do everything, they want to save their own jobs, they will give you all wrong data. So for that, what people are saying, in each of the supply chain, when it is transported from one location to another location, have sensors which will check certain properties of fruits and store it into a blockchain system, right? Now, you know the state of the fruit at every stage, and you can identify at which state there's a problem and the fruit got spoiled. Why should this be in a blockchain? Why should this cannot be in a normal database? Because till now people have been having it in a normal database. When a big problem comes, right? Like when a big problem comes, a huge spillage or spoilage happens, people go and alter the data altogether, Right? A lot of companies, such lot of notorious activities have happened. That is why banks are wanting to start this immediately. Right?
Yeah.
And a lot of audits, what is happening, a lot of people are going and changing the data that is there in between.
Yeah.
Now, if you have a system where you cannot change the data, that is ideally what people are wanting to get into.
So basically, like what Vikram said, the whole audit system is built into the blockchain. So he said, right, when Vikram is paying 100 rupees, he has to show how he got that 100 rupees. So the entire chain is verified every time a new transaction is added. So the converse of this is, if you change the old transaction, all the new transactions become invalid. So when we say tamper proof, this is what is happening. If you, for example, land records, if you want to go and change data in 1980, all the data after 1980, they will all get corrupted. They will not get tallied. So anyone who wants to tamper it, he has to tamper the whole blockchain, has to recreate. And it takes a lot of effort and it's very visible. Since all the blockchain data is mostly in the public space, anyone can say, okay, this data has been altered from this point to this point. So basically, these are the benefits that blockchain provides: auditability, transparency, and also tamper-proof data.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is the best for now that can come to a diluted level, Sunil. I think there was only one movie, as far as I know, which was made on Bitcoin. And that movie also was made for all notorious things like, they steal, they do drugging and stuff with Bitcoin. So, hopefully they get some good movies that will explain things easier.